Then comes potency. Potency is inversely proportional to the concentration or dose of a drug required to produce 50% of that drug's maximum effect. Potency of a drug in part depends on the affinity of receptor for binding the drug and in part on the efficiency with which the drug receptor interaction is coupled to response. Here we can see if a drug produces greater effect with lesser amount of drug consumed, then it is said to have higher potency. We can see that in this figure, the slope A, there we can see that least amount of drug is used and 100% effect is produced as compared to the slope D. Thus, A has higher potency as compared to D. Maximal efficacy. The parameter reflects the limit of dose response curve. The maximal efficacy of a drug is obviously crucial for making clinical decisions when a large response is needed. The word efficacy in pharmacology and medicine refers both to the maximum response achievable from a drug in research setting and to the capacity for sufficient therapeutic effect or beneficial change in clinical setting. It may be determined by the drug's mode of interaction with receptors or by characteristics of receptor effector system involved. Here we can see efficacy seems that the higher the work produced while giving a dose, the higher will be the efficacy, and the least amount of drug used to produce maximum effect will be known as potency. In this case, we can see that although they are being given equal amount of drug, but different drugs produce different concentration of response. Then comes physical natures of drugs, which are very important. Drugs may be in solid, liquid or gaseous forms. These factors are very useful when we are trying to administer. Thus, if we know the physical form of the drug, then we can choose the best route for administration of drug. Drug size is very important because in some cases we need to transfer drugs from one place to another while there is a semi-permeable membrane. For example, here we can see that there are different types of drugs. For example, lithium ion, which has a size of molecular weight 7, while a protein at altiplase, which has a molecular weight of 59,050. The lower limit of this narrow range is probably set by the requirements for specificity of action. To have a good fit to only one type of receptor, a drug molecule must be sufficiently unique in shape, charge and other properties to prevent its binding to other receptors. To achieve such selective binding, it appears that a molecule should, in most cases, be at least 100 molecular weight units in size. We discussed that the lower limit was set by specificity of action, while the higher upper limit is determined primarily by the requirement that drug able to move within the body. Then comes drug reactivity. Drugs interact with receptor by means of chemical bonds or forces. There are three major types of forces: covalent, electrostatic, and hydrophobic. Here, the covalent are the most strong and in many cases may be not reversible under biological conditions, while electrostatic are more common because electrostatic bonds form between charged ion molecules. Hydrophobic bonds are quite weak and are probably important in interaction of highly lipid soluble drugs with lipids of cell membrane. Drugs that bind to their receptors are generally more selective than drugs that bind by means of strong bond. This is because weak bonds require a very precise fit of drug to its receptors if an interaction is to occur. Drug body interaction. There are basically two types of drug body interaction. One will be the action of drug on the body, which is known as pharmacodynamics. In pharmacodynamics, we study the biochemical and physiological effects of drug as well as their mechanism of action. While if we study the action of body on the drug, it will be known as pharmacokinetics, in which we study absorption, distribution, metabolism, and elimination of the drug from the body. There are many branches of pharmacology, which include toxicology, which deals with the study of undesirable effects of chemicals on living things. Then comes chemotherapy, which deals with the effects of drugs upon microorganisms and parasites living and multiplying in living body without damage to the host. Then comes posology, means the study of doses of drug. Then comes pharmacy, which is preparation, compounding, and dispensing of medicines. Then comes clinical pharmacology, which is the scientific study of drugs in man. It includes pharmacodynamics, pharmacokinetics, and investigations and therapeutic evaluation. There are some terminologies such as pharmacogenetics. Pharmacogenetics is the study of genetic makeup on response of specific drug is close to becoming a practical area of therapy. The term overlaps with genetics, which is use of genetic information to guide the choice of drug therapy on individual basis. Pharmacoepidemiology. It is the study of drug effect at population level. The upper one was pharmacogenetics, which was the study of drugs on genetic level, while pharmacoepidemiology means study of drug at population level. It is concerned with variability of drug effect between individuals in population and between populations. Thank you.